Brazilian president visits Vietnam. And Ministry of Finance seeks measures to attract foreign investment. Good evening. You're watching today's headlines, where we bring you the top stories of the day. Party General Secretary Tô Lâm met with revolutionary veterans, meritorious individuals, and exemplary policy families from the Central Region on Friday. And this event celebrates the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and national reunification. Delegates representing 13 provinces from Quảng Bình to Khánh Hòa and the Central Highlands attended the meeting. They expressed gratitude for the party and state's recognition and optimism about the country's progress. And at the meeting, the party chief honored the sacrifices of veterans, soldiers, and citizens. He underlined it as the foundation for the country to move forward with sustainable double-digit growth, creating wealth and improving citizens' lives. Now, on Friday morning, State President Lương Cường officially welcomed Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva for a state visit to Vietnam, the first foreign head of state to visit the country in 2025. A longtime supporter of Vietnam, President Lula had previously joined protests in solidarity during the country's fight for independence. State President Lương Cường highlighted the positive developments in bilateral relations and proposed increasing trade to $15 billion by 2030. They also committed to enhancing economic cooperation, trade, investment, science and technology, and innovation. The Vietnamese state president thanked President Lula and the Brazilian government for recognizing Vietnam's market economy status, which will pave the way for robust trade relations between the two nations. Party General Secretary Tô Lâm gave a reception in Hanoi on March 28th for visiting Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, during which he affirmed the Vietnamese party and state value Brazil as a key partner in Vietnam's broader foreign policy in Latin America. During the reception, the party chief praised the outcomes of the talks between President Lula da Silva and State President Lương Cường, which culminated in the signing of the action plan for the Vietnam-Brazil Strategic Partnership for 2025 to 2030. Both leaders agreed on key directions to enhance their strategic partnership bilaterally and multilaterally. And additionally, Party General Secretary commended Brazil's recognition of Vietnam's market economy status and proposed joint efforts to negotiate a preferential trade framework with the Southern Common Market. Now, in a meeting at the government office today, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and Brazilian President Lula da Silva reaffirmed their commitment to deepening ties, aiming for a $15 billion trade turnover by 2030. And this push comes as the two nations implement their newly established strategic partnership. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính thanked Brazil for recognizing Vietnam's market economy status and announced Vietnam's readiness to import Brazilian beef. And in return, Vietnam seeks expanded market access for its trifish and shrimp. The two leaders also highlighted the importance of cultural exchange with a focus on youth football development. The Ministry of Finance held the conference on investment funds and foreign investment in Vietnam's new era of development on Friday in Ho Chi Minh City. To achieve economic growth of 8% or higher this year, the State Securities Commission emphasizes that the stock markets must further enhance its role as a key medium and long-term capital mobilization channel. Current total assets under management at fund companies account for just 6% of GDP, and this leaves much room for expansion. The Ministry of Finance stated that it will soon introduce solutions to develop investment funds, thereby attracting more domestic and foreign capital. The U.S. Department of Commerce has initiated investigations of wood products from all markets, including Vietnam, upon import into the U.S., and these imports could potentially face a 25% tariff. However, Vietnam may avoid or reduce these tariffs by presenting a compelling case. And to this end, businesses and Wood Industry Association are preparing data to support their case and demonstrate the Vietnamese wood sector's positive contribution to the U.S. market.
At this warehouse, red oak, white oak, walnut, and yellow pine are among the U.S. timber varieties being imported in large quantities by Vietnamese businesses for processing. According to company representatives, importing U.S. timber for processing and re-exporting helps expand U.S. forests and creates a trade surplus that benefits both businesses and the U.S. market.
In reality, Vietnam primarily focuses on processing, while U.S. companies hold the brand names and gain most of the profits from trading in the high-end furniture market and retail sales. The largest share of the trade surplus ultimately benefits U.S. businesses.
According to the Vietnam Timber and Forest Products Association, while the U.S. has abundant forest and timber resources, it faces challenges processing wood products due to high labor costs. Vietnam's wood industry fills this gap by providing a complementary manufacturing role, ensuring U.S. consumers can access high-quality products.
Vietnam has a comparative advantage with relatively low labor costs. I believe it would not be easy for the U.S. to find another supplier capable of meeting such demands. A review is needed to balance import and export tax rates between the two countries.
Vietnam's trade counselor in the U.S. advises that Vietnamese businesses should be more proactive in understanding U.S. tariff policies and trade protection measures. To sustain export growth, companies must stay updated on policy changes and adjust their production and export strategies accordingly.
Coming up next, earthquake in Myanmar causes tremors in Vietnam. And later on, Vietnam applies modern technologies for immigration procedures. Now moving on to other news, a significant earthquake in Myanmar sent noticeable tremors across Vietnam this afternoon. Residents in major cities like Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City reported shaking buildings and furniture. The seismic activity, originating over 1,000 kilometers away, was felt in numerous provinces. While the epicenter was distant, the earthquake's force caused widespread alarm, particularly in high-rise buildings. Experts from the Institute of Earth Sciences are currently analyzing the event to provide further information. The Ministry of Public Security held a groundbreaking ceremony this morning in Dak Pla Commune, Kon Tum City, to launch a project eliminating makeshift and dilapidated houses across Central Highlands provinces. Currently, Kon Tum province has over 2,700 households classified as poor or near poor. Meanwhile, only 72% of available and mobilized funding for this housing project has been secured. And to address this, the Ministry of Public Security has coordinated efforts to mobilize over $3.2 million from benefactors. And this enables the construction of 1,400 new houses, each provided with around $2,300 of support. Previously, over $14 million was allocated to Gia Lai and Cao Bang provinces for the same cause. Modern technologies have made the immigration procedures at ports faster and more efficient. It not only saves passengers valuable time waiting at the immigration desk, but also enhances management efficiency and strengthens security. More on this in the following.
Upon arrival at the airport, many passengers now opt for the system called AutoGate.
Going through traditional immigration procedures can take up to 2 hours. Now, with my chip-embedded passport, the process is about 10 times faster.
I find it convenient. It's time-saving. Many countries around the world have put this system into operation.
5 major airports in Vietnam have implemented the auto gate system for passengers with chip-embedded passports. After more than a year of pilot implementation, nearly 3 million passengers have used the system.
We will conduct biometrics and expand automatic entry to include foreigners. The implementation of the AutoGate system not only makes travel more convenient but also improves immigration management. It significantly reduces the need for staff at border gates, cutting personnel requirements by up to 50%.
To further improve immigration procedures for foreigners, Vietnam has also introduced electronic visas or e-visas. Without the need for in-person visits, travelers can simply apply online on the official website and receive their e-visas promptly. The system is built on a modern, secure IT infrastructure and can still ensure efficiency.
Yep, not too difficult. Oh, it was easy. I think I got approval in 3 days.
The application of technology in immigration procedures not only saves time and effort, but also enhances transparency in document processing. This marks a significant step in Vietnam's digital transformation, advancing toward a modern, efficient, and user-friendly administration.
Ho Chi Minh City witnessed a second day of spectacular Air Force training as preparations intensify for the 50th Reunification Day anniversary. Su fighter jets and military helicopters taking off from Bien Hoa Airport conducted formation flights over the city. Residents observed the aircraft maneuvering through Thủ Đức City and District 1, practicing low-altitude flyovers. And the training involved Su-30MK fighters, Yak-130 training aircraft, and various Mi-series helicopters. The aircraft concluded their practice run along the Bạch Đằng Wharf, the Saigon River, and Thủ Khiêm area, leaving residents impressed. Now, as usual, let's move on to the weather forecast. And that's all the news for today's headlines. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.